Parshat Mishpatim, which means laws, is literally packed with laws and with mitzvot, and it's where we read a lot about the civil laws, the laws of damages, which we are in fact studying at the moment in the Daf Yomi cycle, in the daily folio of the Talmud, in Tractate Bava Kama. Tractate Bava Kama begins by telling us Arba Avot Nazikin. There are four main categories of items that cause damage. Hashor, there's an ox, an animal that causes damage. V'habor, there's a pit in the street that somebody falls into. V'hamavet, there's a human being that causes damage. V'hever, and the fire. And the Talmud goes into great, great detail to explain each and every one of these particular damaging items, what they have to pay, who's responsible, what's considered to be negligence, what's considered to be just a mistake, etc., etc. Several years ago, there was a young man, a yeshiva bocher, in fact, he was married, and he was very into outreach, into reaching out to people who were not religious and trying to bring them into the religion. And he specifically, together with his wife, decided to live in a certain apartment building where there were not many religious people, and this is quite rare, because he thought he would have access to these people and he would try to influence them into embracing Judaism. And one day he went around to the different apartments and he told everybody, please join me. I think it was a Thursday night. On a Thursday night there'll be refreshments in my apartment and we're going to learn a little bit of Torah. And he was charismatic and he was convincing and they all agreed, yeah, we're going to come to your apartment. Even though these are people who never really studied Torah, they weren't observant people. During the week, it began to bother him. What subject am I going to teach them? You know, Torah is very vast and, you know, what's going to attract them? So he happened to be in a shop, and he bumped into Rabbi Uri Zohar, of blessed memory. Rabbi Uri Zohar was a famous celebrity in Israel. In fact, he had been, before he was religious, he had been a television celebrity, an actor, a singer, and then he took on religion, and he literally learned for the rest of his life. He passed away recently, and he was a genius when it came to outreach. So this young man said, look, you know, I'm getting everybody together. I want to teach them Torah. It's going to be the first Torah that they've ever learned. What should I teach them? And Rabbi Uri Zohar said, well, what are you currently learning in yeshiva? And he said, I'm learning Tractate Bava Kama. This tractate, which is about the oxen goring and the fire and the pit, etc. He said, well, why don't you teach them that? The guy said, no, I don't think that's so appropriate. That's not the right thing for them. They'll be bored by that, won't be interested. Rabbi Uri Zohar said, if you're not passionate about your Torah learning, you won't be able to give it over to other people. It doesn't matter what you teach them. It can be any subject, even a subject that may be dry, but if you put it over in a passionate way, the Torah has the power to speak to people, and it will connect them to the Torah. And he was very invigorated by that, and he went, and he didn't know how it would go over, but he taught them. He taught them this page of the Talmud about the oxen goring, and it caused the whole discussion to happen, and it was fantastic. And since that day, whenever he has begun to teach a new group, he teaches them this subject. So it's not the subject matter, it's the power, it's the fire, it's the passion of the Torah. Any subject that is in the Torah can speak to us and have an impact upon us. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.